Okay, we're back again with another Minecraft episode, but I'm just mainly gonna use this just to talk about something that I find stupid in nowadays world. So most of my viewers know that I live in Denmark, and not so long ago we had an announcement that we would be making a statue, just a statue of like some selected women. There were like a poll for 100 women, and I could only agree with one of them, and that was the goddamn queen, because it just makes sense. But other than that, we don't really need a statue. Like, and I've also talked about this with some of my friends, and how I said it was I said it like the media said it. And that was that we were getting a statue made of just any woman, because we apparently think that women don't get enough representation over here, and I just want to call complete bullshit on that, considering the Little Mermaid exists. And if you don't know, that statue in and of itself actually annually gets 1 million people just visiting that statue in and of itself. And that is huge. That is no like pinching for pennies levels. And I actually did some research before making this video. This has not been a long time coming, but it's just something. And I figured, I at least found out that for a large statue over in the US, that is $30,000, and that is some big. It can also go up to $1 million for a statue, depending on which material. Okay, I came to the conclusion that I'm a dumbass and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna be putting it up on screen. Probably also going to cut the section where I didn't talk that much. But yeah, I'm just going to be putting it right up on screen so you guys can see. And it's just because I'm a simple dumbass. And that is why. I don't know. Okay, I need more. Oh, shit. But also, it also depends on what size it is. But like, a statue can actually cost a shit ton of CO2. Oh, come on, man. And CO2 is not good for the environment. And also, I've talked with a lot of family members as well, mainly the female in my family. And they also disagree on needing a statue. There is simply just no need. Why do we as people need a statue? Like, actually. Yeah, like, when I also talked about this with my friends, they thought I was like a fucking sexist. Just because I just said what the outlet, or at least what I heard on the radio, said. And if we were... Okay, let me get my redhead America on, but like, if we actually live in nowadays world where if you just somewhat negatively talk about something that involves a female, and you're considered sexist, I feel like we're just kind of going backwards. Where's that equality stuff that not only women have been fighting for, and I would say decently achieved, because last I checked, there are not many cases, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong. I'm just talking from my heart right now. But like, most cases, the women in this world, not in every single country, but majority of the women who complain about not having equal rights actually live in the country where they have it. I don't think I've ever heard about a woman from Africa or Israel. Let's just get way too political now. I've never heard any of those come come out and say they have equal rights, and I also think that they do have it. They will also enjoy it because, for what I know, being a woman in like those countries are like the worst thing possible, unless like you're engaged to a rich person. But yeah, that's just my belief. So don't get too gung-ho about it. But like, as for a statue in Denmark of a woman, there is just no need. And there is also just no need for a statue of a man in Denmark. There is just no need for a statue at all. That's just what I'm trying to get across. Okay. But like, I just kind of think it's concerning that we are deciding to actually, that the Danish state thinks that it's a good idea to actually just make a statue. And the problem with it is, we are actually going to be losing a big bunch of our tax dollars for something that we don't really need. And you want to know what we could have been using those tax dollars on? We could have been using it for public transport to get better, considering where, at least in Denmark, if you live on the countryside, you better have a car, because you cannot come any place at any good time if you do not own a vehicle, a licensed vehicle. You must, and I cannot stress this enough, you must have a car to fully live on the countryside. And it's not even funny. For example, I am a baker, so I kind of go to, I work night till noon, and there is just no bus. The earliest bus you can take is the one that will go 1 hour after midnight, and yeah, then you got nothing. So, and I can, and it also just kind of forces people to kind of take educations near cities. And I mean, the city is only 5 kilometers away by car. I think it's 15 by cycle. So, but still, it's just bad. And when we decide to use our tax money on something that's not really needed, and we could have been using it on way better things. For example, better public transport, more healthcare. Recently, one of my dad's fiance, she got really sick to a point where she couldn't stand, and she didn't get treated as she should in the hospital. And we kind of pride ourselves on we have free healthcare and stuff. Yeah, well, that free healthcare is kind of shit. If they don't get paid enough. And also just the fact that some people just don't care. That's also a completely other thing. But still, we can use, money gathered all around the world for better things than goddamn statues. We can also make the roads on the countryside better, because it's kind of funny in the big cities and stuff, and not even like, also just some of the cities that are, there's like a city 3 kilometers away from where I live, they have new roads and stuff, but where I live, no new road in I think 20 years. I have never in my life seen that road be fixed. And I seriously mean that. Never. Only the cities away. And it's just bad management of money. And we could also be using it on military aid. We could be using it on churches for like the Christians and stuff. We could use all of this money for something way much better. We ultimately decide as a society that it's best to use it on goddamn statues, and I don't like the idea of that. I just gotta be completely honest. But yeah, that was just my Japanese for today. So, yo.